nobody but you will ever know.
Hey everybody, it's me, Undead Viking. I'm here with a video review for you. The game I'm reviewing today, I'm going to show you the box here. The game, this box, says Norderwind, which I do believe I'm pronouncing correctly. I did take a lot of German, but it has been a long time. Anyway, Norderwind, it will be released as the game called Northwind by Z-Man Games later this year over here in the States. I picked this copy up, I believe it was through Time Well Spent Games, or it might have been Game Surplus. It was one of the two. I know they both had it in stock at different times. And I picked it up basically for one reason, and that is, oh, hold on, that is this guy right here. This incredibly overproduced piece of cardboard ship that each person, and the mast likes to fall on you. It lays on the ground. Don't worry about the mast like falling through. You don't really carry it around or anything. It sits on the table. I'll show you that when I show you how to play the game. Anyway, this little ship is how you kind of track your progress through the game. There's a scoring chart and everything like that as well that you do, but like this little sail here, and like you can probably see there's some numbers there. I mean, that determines like how many of these tiles you get to draw. Like it starts off at 4, you know, but as you purchase better sails, you get to move your, you know, the sail up like so. And there's these cool little spots for like putting a sailor up here in the crow's nest of the ship. And there's these different locations here where these guys go as well. So like if you hire a guy that is a cannoneer, he goes in that location and things like that. And also if you happen to pick up cargo, like there's some grapes, you know, you're carrying wine, maybe you have some fish, maybe you have, I believe this is, oh, let me turn this over. This is like a tree, so you can see it's wood, and so you have your cargo, and so it's just a cool little representation. Oh, and there's even a cool little place for if you capture pirates. There's a brig in the front of the ship, and like I said, I'll show that more when you I show you how to play the game. And also, I should mention, these cannons come off, so as you buy cannons, you get more and more cannons. So basically, your ship kind of gets created as you play the game. And they look really, really cool, I will fully admit. And so when I saw the picture of that, and I saw the picture of these cool little ships, I was like, whoa, that looks really neat, and I really wanted to play it, and I knew my daughter would dig it. And I knew my gaming group would dig it as well. So, you know, at least that facet of the game. And plus, it was designed by Klaus Tuber, who, of course, is of Settlers of Catan fame. So, there you go. I mean, it had a lot behind it as far as the looks go. I like the theme. I do like shipping games. I do like that idea. And plus, there's a push your luck mechanic, and I've always really enjoyed, like, push your luck mechanic. As if you've watched these videos, you can see there's Can't Stop back here. It's one of my favorite games ever. So, but regardless, I'm going to show you how the game is played, and then we'll come back here and I'm going to play with this. Cool little cardboard chip some more, and then we'll talk about as far as what I think of the game and whether or not you think it would be something for you and your family and/or gaming group that you would enjoy. All right, so how to play Northwind, or Norderwind, as it's probably pronounced. So that sounds like more Norwegian, but then I am a Norwegian, so alright, here we go. This is the game of Northwind, or Norderwind. Obviously, each person will get one of these ships, and you don't start with 4 cannons to start with. You only start with 1. But you get to buy cannons and add them later. The number of cannons you have determines how many times you get to roll the cannon die when you run into pirates. And there's the cannon die. I'll explain that here in just a little bit. Ultimately, this game is kind of a pick up and deliver game with a little bit of a press your luck part added on. On your turn, what you will do is you will determine one of these 3 decks of tiles here. You're going to pick that, and you're going towards one of these 3 ports. Now, the port matters due to the fact that if you get to the port, you can trade in goods and money and pirate captains that you may have captured to be able to place one of your victory cubes on one of these locations up here on this board. There's also bonus, like if you complete a mission each one of the 3 ports, you get to place another bonus cube there. If you manage to get 4 max out your crewmen, which is 4, you get to put another bonus cube there. And if you are the person that has the most of these filled in, so like let's say red had like 3 and blue had 3 and red managed to complete this one, then they'd get to place a cube in there to, like, as an extra cube placed down. Now the reason why the cubes are important is depending on the number of players, if it's 3 or 2 you get 10 cubes, if it's 4 players you get 8. The first person to get all of their cubes out onto this board wins the game. It is important to note that if, like, say blue, like the situation was like this and red had one there, and then blue like earned this one, you would take that off and nobody would have it, because you have to have a majority to be able to get that location. So you pick one of these stacks of tiles that are randomly determined before the game. You shuffle up all the tiles. You put 7 random tiles each one, then put the port tile that is indicative of one of these 3 ports, and you pick one, and then you get to turn them over one by one. And the maximum number of tiles you get to turn over is determined by, lost my mask there, is determined by the level of sail that you have. And so, like, you can see if your sail is here, you get 4, max number is 5, max number is 6. And so that just increases. And you get to buy and improve your ship on your voyages here. And I'll show you some of the tiles here. But anyway, so there you go. So, so you pick one, you say I'm going to go here, and then you turn a tile over. And like this first tile will be, okay, like that is a port that you can trade up to 2 times. You can buy or sell this good, like so, at the price of 1 gold coin, and you can do it up to 2 times. And so then if you buy it, you get to place, like you say, if you bought 2, you can place them in your cargo hold, like so. And then you'd have those for delivering somewhere else. Like notice over here, like they're looking for that good. And so then, like, you can turn that in, you know, hopefully to get your cubes over there, if you will. Now, underneath this action, you can see there's a line here. And what that does is it says that after I've done this, everybody else around the table, if they have one of these trade vouchers, and you get one of these to start with the game, and you get more of these if you take your turn and you have 1 or none of them, and you only take 1 of your 2 actions and actually complete your voyage, meaning that you drew all 4, then you can get another one. You can only have up to 2 of those. But anyway, and then everybody else can turn in that one of those markers and to do the opposite of what you did. So in this case, you would, like, if you bought 2, somebody else could sell 2 for 2 coins on their turn if they want. And so then you turn that one over. Now, you don't have to take the action if you don't want to. You can skip it and go to the next tile. So then we've got another tile, and here we have an event. And so you can see there's an E. This is not counted as an action. So what happens with this is you will roll this event die. And this event die either has a spot right here, meaning that you earn a gold coin, meaning you found treasure, or it's going to tell you you're going to run into some pirates. And the number of pirate skulls you see is how tough the pirates are. So we'll just roll this here and see what we get. So it's a pirate of 1. And so then you can either pay them a gold coin and then they go away, or you can go ahead and roll this die, and if you get enough cannons to destroy the pirates, so 1 cannon, 1 die to beat 1 pirate, you would defeat the pirates, and then you could take one of these pirate dudes and place them in the brig, and then so then you'd be able to turn them in you know, at this island here, or this port here, because you notice that's how one of the things they're looking for is pirates. So, and I'll explain more about combat. Well, actually, let me tell you one other thing about combat. There is a result of this, and this is a miss unless you have hired a crew member that is considered a cannoneer. And you can see over here, I'll talk more about crew members here in a little bit, but you can see here's that spot. So if you had a guy over there, that would be worth 2 hits. If and I just knocked my guy off, the pirate, he escaped, I guess. So there you go. So that would count as 2. So, and that does not count as an action. So if you only get 2 actions on your voyage, and once you get 2 actions, your voyage is done. So you can skip actions if you want. So we go to the next tile, and here's another action. Now this action allows you to buy or either a sail, improve your sail for 2 coins, or buy a crewman or a cannon for 1 coin. And notice it's got the line underneath it again. And that means that whatever decision you make, so like let's say you bought a sail, then everybody else would have the option of doing this instead, if they wanted to trade in one of their trade vouchers. And let's see what we got here. And then, like, if you didn't take that action, now you have this one, which is, it's a ship, it's a trading ship, and they'll buy or sell any good for 3 coins. And so you could sell one of your goods that you maybe bought in the first one, you get 3 coins for it, and once again, everybody else would have the chance to do the opposite, if that's the case. So, we didn't actually make it back to the port, and so, but I'll show you what that tile looks like here in just a moment. So, and then here. This is like if you'd gotten that one. Notice how there's no line underneath this, so nobody else gets to do it. But then you would get here, and then if you had the goods that you could turn in for one of these things, either coins or the wine, then you could turn them in and place a token there. Now after you've done all of that, you take the tiles and you shuffle them up, because they're different each time, because you never know where the voyage is going to take somebody. You shuffle them up, and then you place them back down there for the next person to take their turn. A couple other things I just want to show you before we go. I tell you exactly what I think of the game. There is a tile, and I'll find one here, that is this. It is an action to take it, and it is a shipwreck, and you just get 2 coins for when you find it. And that's just like it's a freebie as far as that is concerned. The other thing I just want to tell you about, when you purchase a crew member, you can either put them in these 4 spots, or you can put them up here in the crow's nest. You only have room for 4, so you can't ever get everybody. The crow's nest, if you have that guy, what that allows you to do is it allows you to look at the top tile and then decide whether or not you want to experience it. And if you want to experience it, you flip it over as normally. Otherwise, you put it underneath, and that's the only one you get to look at. You get to look at the first one, and that's it. The second one, and you can barely see this, it's a ship. If you run into one of those ships like I had before that like allowed you to buy and sell one of these guys, it allows you to do the action twice. And you can actually do a buy and a sell if you so desire. If that is your option. The cannoneer, I already told you, it's worth 2. There's at the beginning of your turn, if you have no money, you automatically get a gold coin. If you have a crew member this, you get 2 coins if you have no money at the beginning of your turn. And the final one is if you actually go and you trade your items, or trade your cargo hold, you get an extra gold coin for selling them. So like if you went here and you sold, you get 3 coins for it instead of 2, as you can see right there. So, but there you go. I mean, that is, in the long and short of it, that is the entire game. You just pick a deck, you shuffle through it, you decide your 2 actions that you're going to take, and then next person goes. Eventually, like as I said, you slowly improve your ship. You buy more cannons. Basically, the more cannons you get, so like when you roll and fight, if you have 2 cannons and you roll and you're fighting that, a pirate with 1, you'd roll once, and like that would defeat it already. But like if you came up with a blank, and then you could roll again because you got 2 cannons, 2 blanks, you'd still lose. If you do lose to the pirates, nothing bad happens to you other than the fact that your voyage just ends at that point. You don't get to do any more, and nothing else gets to take place. You know, so it isn't like they sink your ship or they take your treasures or anything like that. Your turn ends if the pirates defeat you. So, but yeah, there you go. The game looks really cool, and like I said, everybody gets one of these cool little pirate ships they get to place in front of them, and they get to build it up. You know, add more cannons, add more crew member and stuff as the game progresses. One other thing, you can have up to 6 things of cargo, but you can only ever have 2 of each thing. You couldn't have like 3 of those. You can only have up to 2 of one, so there is some limitations there. But there you go. That is how to play a game of Norderwind. You just keep going around the table until eventually somebody will have enough victory cubes up here in these locations to allow them to win the game. And the game ends at that point. It isn't like everybody else gets one more turn and see what happens. It's just that happens and the game is done. Alright, so let me tell you exactly what I think of Northwind. I forgot to mention one thing about these ships, and I didn't mention it when I was explaining how the game is played either. Like this ship, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, it has the name of Sturmsinger, like Storm Singer, I guess. And so each of the ships are actually named something different, which, you know, and one of them is actually called the North Wind and things like that. And so I thought that was a nice touch. I mean, they could have just made them all exactly the same, but they actually named the ships each their own thing. So there you go. Alright, cool. So you should have a really good grasp of how to play. The game is not difficult. It is one of those things where it's like, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to hope I get the right tiles so I can do this. And I guess the whole premise of the game is that, at least at the very beginning, because you set those tiles up randomly, you're kind of going through the tiles and hoping to get what you want, and then deciding, you know, whether or not, you know, if you're going to take certain actions or if you're going to wait and see if you get a better action. Because I thought there was going to be some sort of like press your luck thing going on, like as far as, oh, do I dare take another shot? And then like the pirates would come and take away your stuff or something like that. But that really wasn't the case with the game. And I credit a lot of that to the fact that I didn't do a lot of research. I was totally taken aback by like the presentation, the actual like parts of the game. And so I knew I just had to have it for that reason alone. So the press your luck mechanic really is, because of the fact that you're limited to those 2 actions, you'll draw a thing and it'll be an action like to say improve your ship. And so that's one action. And then it's just like, okay, well, I want to be able to, you know, cash in my stuff that I have. I'd say I have a captain and some coins, and I want to cash them in so I can, you know, get that victory point or whatever, so I can put that cube down. And so then if another action comes up that you would have much rather preferred to do, you know, then it's like, oh, well, you know, am I even going to get to see it? Or do I have enough draws of the tile to actually get to that part and stuff like that? And so it was yes, it's kind of a push your luck thing, but it really isn't, if you will. And I don't find fault with the game for that. It was something that I thought it was, and it wasn't exactly what I thought it would be. So regardless, as a whole, what do I think of the game? It's kind of mediocre, I will fully say. I mean, and I say that with the caveat of my family digs the game. I mean, and I can play. I like playing this with my daughter. I like playing it with my daughter and my wife because it isn't really tough to determine, and it's kind of fun to like see my daughter kind of figure out like the ideas of like, oh, okay, do I want to like, do I want to buy a crewman this type of crewman, or do I want to go and hunt for pirates and things like that, and she likes playing with the ship, and it's a fun thing. But as far as like playing with my gaming group, it just really kind of fell flat. I mean, there really isn't a lot of meaningful choices to make in the game. I mean, and after you and the other players have kind of dug through the tiles, you pretty much know where you have to go. I mean, it's pretty easy to remember. It's like, okay, well, this tile, this stack of tiles has, you know, the Sunken Treasure, and it only has one pirate, and also I can get wine there pretty cheap, you know, so to speak. And so, and then I know I'm going to go to that one so I can get what I need so I can go here. And a lot of times when we played it, things would happen where like a tile, like a whole range of tiles just wouldn't have like an event, that it wouldn't have a pirate event in it. And so you knew going in there, it's like you didn't have to worry about it. And like sometimes those that stack would have like, you know, 2 of the treasure, like the Sunken Treasure ones. And so you would just be like, that would be like the money-making tile. And so everybody would just go there, okay, we're just going to run through this one till we get our money, and then we're going to branch off and go over here and do this. And so what we ended up having to do is we actually made it so that randomness didn't occur. We said, okay, well, you know, each one has to have at least one pirate in it. You know, each one, you can't have more than one sunken ship in a single pile. And so we started messing with the game and messing with the rules. And it got better when we did that, because of the fact that we just wouldn't have just like very, very basic, very, very standard decision makings, because you know, you're just like, okay, go here, you know, just cycling through what you knew. And then the problem is that even with those changes, yes, the game got better, but after about the 3rd or 4th turn, it was just, you know, like I said, the meaningful choices were gone. I mean, it was just, okay, I really hope I know these 2 tiles that I need are in this stack. I really hope I get them with my 5 options. Oh, I didn't get them. All right, well, you can go. And then the other person goes, okay, I'm going to really hope forget. Oh, you got yours. Okay, well, then you get to do your thing. And then he gets back to you and it's like, okay, well, I really hope I get this. Okay, I got it this time. That's cool, you know. And at that point, I'm not immersed in the game. I'm not interested in what I'm doing. I'm not interested in the choices that I'm making. And I'm just kind of hoping that somebody finishes the game. And I played it, you know, a good half a dozen times. And I can see where there's a game in here that I think people would like. But it is not for your classic strategy gamer. I'm just going to put that. Casual gamers, yes, because they really don't have to pay attention to what's going on, and they really don't have to, like, you know, other than a little bit of memorization as far as where, you know, where they need to go or what they have to do. You know, there's really nothing you have to be constantly aware of as far as the game is as it proceeds, as far as the actual structure of the game. You know, these ships are super, super freaking cool. I won't deny that at all. But in all honesty, a piece of a cardboard cardboard tile with little spots where you could put wooden markers on does the exact same job that this thing does. The only thing this ship does, and it does it well, is look really freaking cool in front of you. But it doesn't add anything to the game. I did not have this and like feel like I was immersed in the game at all. I didn't like say, oh, I have a little pirate ship, or I have a little like sailing ship in front of me. It just maintains, it tells you what you can do and what you have. And other than that, after like the ooh, this looks neat, you know, moment is done, then it really doesn't do anything at that point. I think this game is going to appeal to a lot of people that are, like I said, casual, and are just looking for something that is pretty simple to play with their families. But if you are like a serious gamer and you're looking for something, I would steer clear of it. And it's not a bad game by any means. It's like I said, it's overwhelmingly mediocre in its presentation. And well, I shouldn't say its presentation. Its presentation is amazing. As I said, it looks really cool. But as far as the gameplay goes, as far as the choices that it gives you, as far as interesting gameplay moments, no, it doesn't tell me a story. It doesn't involve me in the game, and it just kind of loses me after like the 3rd or 4th play. I was pretty much done with it, and I'm gonna keep it because when my son gets older, I know he's gonna dig it, and and my daughter digs it totally, and I look forward to playing it with both of them. But as far as me ever bringing this out for my gaming group, probably never gonna happen again. So. there you go. So, take that as you will. When you can, like I said, if you both GameSurplus.com and Time Well Spent Games.org, I think it's carry this, and they will carry it, and you can pick it up, fairly cheap through them. And of course, if you want to hold out and wait until the Z-Man version comes, you definitely can, because that is coming out later on this year. So, and it will be called, as I said, it'll be called Northwind and not Norderwind at that time. So, all right, if you have any questions about the game or anything you want to comment, by all means, please let me know, and I'll try to answer back with, if you have questions, I'll try to answer back at that time. But until next time, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. I greatly appreciate each and every one of my viewers, and without you, I wouldn't do this, because this is kind of like my little thing that I like to do. So, all right, you have yourself one heck of an awesome day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.